we have some of the best cash game players anywhere in the world sat around this table, and they are going at it.
As if the lineup wasn't tough enough already, here we have 2000 World Series poker champion, Chris Ferguson.
And look who's waiting to come in. It's Alan Cunningham. He's decided to call. I think he's given Mark a medium pair or a busted heart flush draw. That's the one hand he probably hasn't thought about. Whether Phil was worried about his kicker or not, I don't think he is anymore. Well, Mike's caught the ace, but there's a flush draw here for Gus. He knows he's probably going to have to catch his flush to win this pot. He's moved his chips all in.
Pot is now $144,000.
Welcome to the Full Tilt Poker $1 Million cash game from 50 London. This is no limit hold'em of the very highest level. $100,000 buy-ins for each of our 13 players, making this one of the biggest no limit cash games to ever be televised anywhere in the world. From English to Danish to American, the big money has come to town. And in this game, it's all about making your friends go broke. Each player is starting with a minimum of $100,000 of their own cash. And if they lose it, they can simply reach back into their pockets and buy back in. The starting lineup for this game is a who's who of poker stars. In seat 1 is 7 times World Series of Poker bracelet winner Erik Seidel, who's made over $5.8 million in tournaments. Seat 2 is Roland de Wolf, originally a journalist but now an accomplished player, who's the only person to have won the WPT and EPT titles. Next up is the only person to win 4 World Poker Tour titles, Gus Hanson, originally from Denmark, but now spending most of his time commuting from Monte Carlo to Las Vegas. Then the man who needs no introduction, Phil Ivey, with 5 World Series of Poker bracelets and also another regular visitor to the Bellagio's $4,000, $8,000 limit game. In seat 5 is businessman Paul Kemsley, who appeared in the British version of The Apprentice and loves to gamble, but today any profits he makes will go to charity. In seat 6, it's Mike the Mouth Matusow, self-confessed best player at the table. He's won over $4.2 million in tournaments, but loves the cash games just as much. Then in 7 is Chris Jesus Ferguson, the 2000 World Series of Poker main event champion, not known to play a lot of cash, but in his own words, poker is poker. Finally in seat 8 is Alan Cunningham, who came 4th at the 2006 World Series of Poker main event and was the 2005 World Series Player of the Year. But who out of these players and more will take home the money and the title? Let's get straight to the action and join our commentators David Tuckman and Gary Jones.
We are at 50 London for the Full Tilt Poker $1 Million cash game. We've got a new player in the game, Paul Kemsley, likes to be called PK. PK is actually really proud to say that he has no tournament winnings and no tournament earnings. He's a cash game player. He's bought in for $150,000, and apparently everything he wins today is going to charity. The Rouse Gold Foundation in memory of his late brother-in-law, who died a year ago from melanoma. And PK's got 8-9 off suit there.
19 more.
He obviously came to play. He's calling a raise with that. And Alan's got a hand to play as well.
Cool.
Well, PK's got to make money for charity here.
16.
Yeah, well, we're rooting for him here in the commentary box. But these sharks around the table are hoping they're going to carve him up between them. Eric's in the pot as well. He's got 2 ducks.
Four. Ace. 7. Check. Check.
Well, the ace of Gus Hanson is winning right now.
Yeah, he's way ahead.
8,000 the bet. Pass.
Not much out there for the rest of them. This one probably going to be Gus's.
Pass.
And he takes it down.
To get started, one player has made the nominated dealer or button. Then the two players to the left post the small and big blinds. These are forced bets to get the action started. The big blind is always double the small. Unlike a tournament, the blinds stay at a set level for the whole game. In this case, $300 and $600. Plus, there's an ante of $100 per player, which must be paid if they want to play in a hand. Once the blinds and antes are posted, everyone has dealt 2 cards. We have a round of betting. Then 3 cards are placed face up on the table, called the flop. These are the community cards for all the players to use. Then we have another round of betting, after which the 4th card, the turn, is placed in the middle, followed by some more betting and the last community card, the river. Then we finish off with a final round of betting. The best 5-card hand wins the money.
Eric Seidel's got the button.
My friend lost 2 at the laundromat. My friend lost 4 of them.
Pass.
It's going to be interesting to see how the rest of the players adjust to PK's strategy.
Who lost $400,000 chips?
Chip.
So what did they give him?
They canceled
600 cool.
the chips and gave him his money back. Called.
Cool.
I went to the Win.
Cool.
A few months
Those
ago.
chips are protected. Don't worry.
I had a fantastic dinner there. Proceeded to lose $2 million in 8 minutes at baccarat. The driver of the Win.
The Win? What did they let you bet? 100,000 a hand?
100,000.
Deposit 2 million?
100,000 a hand. I don't have to deposit anything.
Oh, okay.
They give me the line.
They give you a credit line.
Oh, they're good. They send their plane. You can imagine what they do.
Did you eat an SW?
Yes.
Chris is raising it up.
3-6. Pass.
Be interesting to see if PK, who's got a much better hand than last time, tries the same move.
Pass.
Well, you imagine PK is at least going to call this. Well, first we're going to go right to the Great Dane, though. Gus Hanson, he's not throwing away 8s.
Oh man, don't even bring that up. 3,000 left. $500,000 sitting underneath the table in Monte Carlo.
Cool.
Cool.
Well, he's called. Three for the money. Ace, Queen, pocket 8, and the slightly more unorthodox King 7 of diamonds. But it's the King 7 of diamonds that's looking good so far.
Let's take another. Want to take another one?
So that's off 8,000. 8,000 to call.
Raise.
And re-raise.
There's 8. With 10.
Call D8.
A raise of 10,000 more from
Raise
PK.
Another 10. 18,000 total.
Now, PK, the only amateur at the table, he's really going to step it up here.
He definitely came to
18,000
play.
total.
He's going to force these pros to step out of their comfort zone.
Pass.
Yeah, they were happy to shovel the chips in there under control when the pots were smaller.
Tentacle.
Gus has got no idea where he is against this guy.
Well, it's hard for it to be a semi-bluff. You look at the texture of that flop there. There's really no draw whatsoever.
It is.
No flush draw, only a middle pin straight draw.
I think I have the second best hand that usually doesn't take down the money here in this poker game. Okay.
Well, he was right. He did have the second best hand. PK picks up another pot.
Looking at you like that, he wants you to show him. But don't give him
That scares me.
the satisfaction. That's what he does. When you beat him a pot, he looks at you like please show me, please show me.
That's what I'm not looking for.
And your antes, please.
Chris Ferguson,
Pass.
Jesus there in the big blind.
Pass. Raise to 18. 18.
Raise.
Phil's raised it to 18.
Close to 3,000 total.
Yeah, 1 off the button, ace 7 offsuit, not a bad hand. but PK is going to defend. He's on the button. He's going to play his button with 10-8 offsuit.
Raise.
That's a re-raise here from Mike.
12 more. 12 more. I raised it. 12 more. 14-4 to call.
But that is a big re-raise from Mike. He really doesn't
Pass.
want a customer. He's not getting one from Chris.
I think he's making it look like a steal, though.
Pass.
Raise. Up to 25.
Raise to 25,000. 13,000.
Unbelievable. He tosses in a $25,000 chip like it was nothing. This is real money.
All right, I'm all in. All in.
And Mike Matusow has moved all in. This is unbelievable.
Pass.
Well, he's decided to lay it down. Prudent move, as it happens. But that's going to put a bit of a dent in PK's stack and give the mouth something to talk about for a while.
And after 87 hands, now Ivey, Phil Ivey, is our big winner. He's up $66,000. Paul Kemsley gave a little bit back there, but he's still actually down 6,300. Matusow climbs out of the basement. He's only down 19,000.
Thank you.
And Cunningham down 36,000.
What a hand from Mike Matusow. Join us after the break to see if he can continue to dominate his opponents.
The greatest poker players are here at 50 London for the Full Tilt Poker $1 Million Cash Game. Button is in front of Chris Jesus Ferguson. Small blinds, Alan Cunningham.
Cool.
Big blind, Eric Seidel.
Cool. 600 to call. Cool. Cool.
Well, he's got a genuine hand here. And there's quite a few players to the flop. If he catches an 8, especially the way he's been playing, he may well get some action. Even Mike Matusow's in there with his 10-3 of spades.
Any raise?
But that's one of the 8s that Paul Kemsley wants to catch.
Ace. 2. 7. Check.
Well, an ace high flop, not the good one for the pocket 8s. And there's the last 8 in Roland de Wolf's hand. He's also got the ace to put him in front.
3,000.
Very tough to flop a set when your 8s are gone.
Exactly.
Pass.
Pot is 7,400.
Called. Pass.
Well, he's still going to try.
Pass.
We know right now
Pass.
there isn't a card in the deck that can save him, but he can get 2 diamonds to go in front against the ace 8.
5.
Well, he doesn't know it, but we know he's drawing dead.
Quite often you wouldn't be happy in a 5-6 way handed pot with just an 8 kicker with your ace, but he has seen
5,000 to call.
PK do some strange things already, so this is probably a value bet from Roland.
Called.
Don't know how much he's going to like it now, but
Pot is now 20,000.
6. Check.
check there from Roland de Wolf. Possibly a check call, depending on the size of PK's bet.
So much more fun. So much less pressure.
Roland de Wolf's a fantastic cash game player, and he has check to induce this bluff. I'm almost sure he's going to call.
Bet of 15,000.
Pot is 35,000. 15,000 to call. against this particular player, I just don't see how he can lay this down. 2 diamonds out there. And he's going to call this.
Yep, that's a reach across the line from Roland. He makes a good call. Pocket 8s for PK.
No eights.
And a winning hand, a pocket 8 of aces for Roland de Wolf.
Roland de Wolf, really a phenomenal player. That hand was played to perfection. He bets what he knew he had the best hand in the flop, bets it again on the turn, and then on the river, he checks to induce the bluff and makes an extra 15,000 out of it.
Yeah, good play there from Roland.
Here we are at the ranking of the hands. First we have high card. In this case, a king high would win it. Then we have 1 pair. In this case, pair of aces. Then 2 pair. Jacks and 9s will do it. Then 3 of a kind. 3 of the same one. 3 4s. Then we have a straight. 5 cards in order, not the same suit. Then a flush. 5 cards, the same suit. 5 hearts will do it. Then we have a full house. 3 7s, 2 kings. This would be 7s full of kings. 4 of a kind, 4 kings. Then we have a straight flush. 5 cards in order, all the same suit. And here's the most beautiful hand in the world. Royal flush. 10, 2 ace, all the same suit. Roland de Wolf has the button.
He thinks it could be with one that doesn't have pay.
Gus Hanson taking a break here, so Mike Matusow is actually first to act.
I figured out.
Once again, remember in cash games, you can get up whenever you want and take a break.
Exactly, nice time to stretch your legs, go make a few phone calls, make sure you're not going to be alone later on. That's what Gus seems to be doing.
His is diamonds, his spades,
Pass.
and Mark was clubs. So if 3 clubs come up, 10,000 or 3 hearts come up, 10,000. You want to do it? Yeah. Okay.
Pass.
If it comes,
Somehow I can't imagine Gus Hanson ever having problems getting a date.
comes with twice in a row, it's 20,000. Sounds good for me.
Raised to 22.
I figured you like it.
Raise here from Eric, 2,200.
Pass. None of us have fit any of these yet, huh? Pass. 16 to call. No one's even been close, have we?
Raise.
And a raise.
5.
Yeah, give it to me.
Re-raise here from PK.
Total of 5, 6.
A call from Eric.
And Eric's called here. He's in position,
8.
but he's behind.
Well, they've both got a straight draw on this board. The 6, 7, 8.
6, 7, 8.
The 9 for Eric and the 5 for Paul Kemsley. It's gone check, check.
And the second time the 7
The
came on
ace
turn,
is
it's
still
picked it
good.
up. Why did I change it from
5.
Pot is 13,000,
I'm a jack off.
and he's going to bet 5,000 into it.
5 to call.
How do you play this if you're Seidel? You're open-ended. The board is paired, though.
But you just can't imagine that Paul would have checked this flop with any kind of a hand. He's just not that kind of a player. Might
Is
be
there
a
any
good
value? Would you
opportunity
raise?
Exactly. This may be a perfect opportunity for a steal re-raise, but he hasn't taken it. He decided to take the cheat
5.
card, and he's been rewarded. He's made the straight with the 5, and it's given Paul Kemsley a little bit of it.
PK there. He's got 7s and 5s with an ace kicker.
Bet of 25,000.
25,000 bets from PK. I think we can be pretty sure that Eric's not going to lay this one down.
Once again, PK just tosses in a $25,000 chip like it was nothing.
A lot of American money, it's going to be like more like a
It's a flag call. He hasn't announced raise.
Been called. On the backs, please.
That's not going to be enough for PK. He's unlucky that Eric's made the straight on the end.
And Seidel wins a $73,000 pot.
Straight.
Wow. That's a big, big pot for Eric.
What kind of poker experience have you got, and how confident are you up there?
Oh, I'm just an unbelievable talent, unsung hero of poker. In fact, I'm very surprised they don't know me.
And what are your tactics going to be out there this evening?
Well, they're not too talkative, are they, that lot? And I'm told I can't talk to them, they get all upset. So we'll certainly start talking to them, so we can't get a few feathers ruffled. And then if we ever get away with bluffing, we'll absolutely have to show them our cards and then immediately walk off and give the money to charity. Look, this could end up in a disaster, but at the end of the day, thankfully, I'm okay with the stakes, and I'm still going to have dinner if I lose.
That's a Mike Callahan. Did you play there last time?
Pass. Pass.
Paul Kemsley, who just sat down at the table about 50 minutes ago, has already lost almost half of his stack. He seems to be hemorrhaging money out of anywhere he can, and I think they're all circling, hoping to get some of it. Eric Seidel, who just got a large chunk of it last hand, has just raised it up.
And wow, he's raised it up with pocket aces. Eric Seidel, a 7-time World Series of Poker bracelet winner. Maybe this is why he gets him. He gets aces all the time.
Well, he's got a customer. It's Mike Matusow, and that is a great start for Mike Matusow.
And you notice how, once again, a great player here. He's going to bet right into the razor. Real scary board out there. Obviously, there's a flush draw out there. There's a straight draw out there. And if you're in Seidel's spot, what does Matusow have?
Raised.
Seidel's going to raise it up here.
No, I'm out. Okay.
13 to call.
And that's really exactly what Matusow wants when he bets into the razor. The pre-flop razor, that is.
Now the question is, how does Mike play it? If he pushes here, he could lose himself a customer. If he flat calls and the turn card doesn't pair the deuce and nothing scary comes, we could have a monster.
Obviously, a lot of cards can kill action, though, and he's going to re-raise it right away. He doesn't want a spade to come off, a jack to come off, a 7 to come off to kill his action.
How much y'all left, Mikey?
We raised it. Another 25.
Seidel's really got to decide right now, am I committing myself to this pot or not? Matusow, phenomenal player. He's capable of making a big semi-bluff. We know that.
I'm on.
All in.
And Seidel moves all in.
Cold.
Seidel moves
It's an all in
in.
and a call.
Hold on a second.
This is going to be the biggest pot we have seen so far.
Unbelievable, $154,000.
I can give you insurance if you want.
I'll tell you what I'll do.
You want me to give you insurance?
This is what I'm going to do. Hold on one second. Will you please hold on a second?
Insurance for you. Where have you got insurance?
Hang on one second. All right, just go. Forget it.
One time.
Let's go. One time. 7.
And there's the turn. Turn 7 of diamonds. And the river. And the river's a 7. I cannot believe it. Pocket ace is going to win it there.
I want to do something.
And Matusow is going to lose it there. I cannot believe it. Seidel catches running 7s to make a bigger 2 pair, and he is going to win $154,000 there.
You just don't know how bad I run in poker. Lost $150,000 pot.
Matusow there, you heard him say it, heard him even say, you know how bad I run, and you can just look at him fuming there.
I got Eric Seidel to put in all his money with one pair, 75,000 on the flop. I flop top 2. I'm running 7s. And I'm trying to get insurance. They go, are you crazy? You're such a huge favorite. And I said, you don't know how bad I run in poker. I want to get insurance on this hand. You don't know how bad I run. I told you guys how bad I run in poker. Nobody knows but me. Okay? You guys just think I play bad.
But Mike,
I'm the unluckiest player in poker.
I told you I could give you insurance. You could have been safe. You could have been on a free roll. No, but I could have put Mike on a free roll.
There we go. After 93 hands, Eric Seidel is up $117,000, courtesy of running 7s. Phil Ivey still up almost $70,000. Matusow, he has $100,000 in front of him, but he's already down $100K. Alan Cunningham down $32,000.
Welcome back to the Full Tilt Poker $1 Million Cash Game. There have been a few changes at the table, and to explain all, let's rejoin our commentators, who are David Tuckman and Gary Jones.
Miss, only one chance I get playing with you fellas. How's one enjoy it?
And this game is really ready to heat up. We've got Mike Matusow, fresh off suck out $154,000. Now we've got Tony G in the game, not to mention Paul Kemsley, who's been giving all sorts of action.
Tony G's there.
I'm there. I'm every week. I'm the starter. You know that. You were the ambassador.
10-10.
The real story we've had so far, of course,
I'm always in there.
is the two hands that involve the aces. Alan Cunningham, good enough to get away from his hand, lost 32,000. He's bottom of the leaderboard right now. But Eric Seidel at the top because he didn't lay down the aces, but he got lucky to win the pot. That's cash for you.
Hey, sometimes it's better to be good than lucky.
Exactly.
Or better to be lucky than good.
Matusow's had to pull up another 100,000 of his own money. Phil Ivey following in with the fours.
I'm not going to raise friends. We're all going to get in friendly now. Mike's a friend of mine.
This one's going to be four-handed.
Paul Kemsley, PK with a 9-8 offsuit.
Look at that.
That's a pretty good flop for the 8-9.
That's a real good flop. He's got overcards plus the straight draw.
The best hand right now is Phil Ivey with the two fours.
Phil Ivey's still in the lead here.
5 would be a good card for Paul Kemsley. He'd make a straight and so would Phil. But Paul would have the bigger one.
Yeah, a 5 really would be the action card. And there it is.
Wow, what a card for Paul.
Oh, this is insane. Phil Ivey's got the straight. He's hit his gut shot, but Kemsley's got the nuts.
And if you are going to be giving any action to anyone around this table at the moment, it's either going to be Paul Kemsley or Mike Matusow. And in this case, it's Paul Kemsley that's made the straight.
Nobody knows how bad.
Well, a call from Phil, who thought it's going to probably be a split pot here. It's not. It's a nice pot for PK.
You got to hand to Phil Ivey for just smooth calling that, not raising it back.
Yes, exactly.
Mike is like, when the cards don't go his way, and the cards don't go his way a lot, he can really steam.
I've been getting the better of Mike all the time, so he's an overrated player, I think. He overrates himself. I don't know who else rates him high, but he rates himself very high, which is good. I mean, Mike is a great personality for poker. We're friends, I enjoy his company. He's a lot of fun to be around with, and he has a good heart.
You don't like to see anybody go on tilt, but you know, you're friends. And Mike's, you know, I like Mike, but he'll probably be the first one to go on tilt if anybody goes on tilt.
Hey Eric, I had a question. Is it too late? Nah, come on in. What do you think? Pre-flop, middle position.
Oh man, did you already call the blind?
Kinda. Hey Mike.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you can hope to flop trips and... Yeah, he's got it right. You should have folded.
Thanks.
There won't be no blow-ups, and there won't be none of that. There will just be me playing my best and winning.
Button is in front of Matusow. Tony G's in the small blind, Alan Cunningham in the big blind, and Eric Seidel is first to act. He's not going to play.
Bad week. I got to hit the diet for a week. Choose cheaper restaurants. That's
on
all.
the street. You know what Hard Knocks are really about.
Yeah, he doesn't know what life's about. I've taken the knocks. I've taken the knocks here and there.
I'll have a look.
Pass. We've had worse beats than that.
Oh man, that's nothing. That's a reasonable beat actually.
Oh really? I figured I was about 3-to-1 dog when I wanted to take insurance.
Alan Cunningham calling the bet.
You would have got 3-to-1 anyway.
I was trying to do something.
Phil Ivey in with King 10 of clubs.
You would have got 3-to-1.
And ace-6 for Paul Kemsley. So 4 people for the flop.
I'd probably give him some profit out of the pot just to get out of that one. It's true.
Check.
I just don't even know.
Cunningham's still in the lead here.
That's what I wanted to do.
He's got 2 pair here, 7s and 4s, the queen kicker.
Everyone checks.
How big a dog is it in there?
9 changes nothing.
Got to hit a running.
Just put a straight draw there, of course, for Phil Ivey.
What am I about? How big? I don't even know. It's a pretty good favorite, though.
Yeah, obviously he's got the straight draw and the flush draw here he's picked up.
Yes, that's right. I didn't see he's got 2 clubs in his hand as well. So a big hand.
And it's a nice semi-bluff from Phil Ivey, and he's going to take it down.
Hello? What up?
And Phil Ivey's going to talk about it.
What's up, man? I'm in England. I'm on a TV show. I can't even talk right now. What, are you in Vegas now? Okay. All right, well, call me in about a week. I'll be back in Vegas. Okay? All right.
Well, if you were wondering where Phil Ivey's going to go, now you know.
You did? Nothing you can do about the cards.
Action moves along here. Small blind Alan Cunningham, big blind Eric Seidel, and Roland de Wolf will be under the gun. He's first act.
Value that. It's like in football, right? You play football. You play a really good game.
Roland's going to limp in here with the ace-5 suited.
Referees give bad decisions.
I don't think Tony's played a hand yet, but he certainly talked like he has.
6 to me.
10-6 for Mike Matusow. Tony G's in as well with his 7-9 of spades. Alan calls as well. With deuce 3.
And believe it or not, the only player not in the hand is Gus Hanson.
Well,
Taking a nap or what?
that must be a first.
Well, ace-10 deuce, couple of hearts out there. Phil Ivey's flopped top 2.
Rolly, be careful
2
with
pair
your
there,
money.
aces and 10s.
We've been through this before.
Well, Roland looks like he's reaching for chips.
Well, it's kind of one of those feeler bets. Let me see where I'm at, right? And he's going to raise it right away. Phil Ivey's going to let de Wolf know exactly where he is. Now, this is actually a huge flop from Mike Matusow. I kind of missed it. He has flopped second pair with a flush draw. He has a pair and a flush draw. 25. Huge hand.
And when you're stuck 100,000, this looks like a big hand to gamble with.
Now, normally, when you have a pair with a flush draw, you think, okay, well, I can catch 2 pair or trips. But in this case, it's no good. He needs a heart and only a heart.
There were an awful lot of people to the flop here. I think it was 6 or 7. So Phil's got to have it going through his mind that maybe Mike's flopped a set.
You're all in?
But Phil said all in.
Just tell him he's all in. So
No, don't do anything.
Hang on, don't do anything. He's not all in yet.
Yeah, just shove in 100.
De Wolf was the original better. Ivey raised. Matusow re-raised, and now Ivey is all in. And this is phenomenal. Action is back to Matusow. $168,000 pot.
He has to know this isn't a maths call.
With $168,000 up for stakes, I mean, it really is an easy fold, but when you're down 100,000, you just start getting a little desperate.
I'm going to need like 20 minutes here, so.
Take your time, mate. No one's in a hurry. All the buses have stopped running, haven't they?
No worries.
Well, Mike's decided to turn his back on Tony G. Tony's not relenting just because there's a big pot in the middle. He's still winding Mike up.
Can you imagine having to make this decision and Tony G blabbering in your ear? Phil Ivey's really shown some strength by raising and now moving all in. What would you do at home? You've got a flush draw. Phil Ivey's moved all in on you. You gotta like the way Ivey's played this hand.
Well,
good for the game.
Mike's laid the hand down. I think mathematically he's made the right decision there. It's very easy to start putting your chips in a bad spot when you're as far behind as Mike is.
Welcome back to the Full Tilt Poker $1 Million cash game here at 50 London. Let's rejoin our commentary team of David Tuckman and Gary Jones.
Cool. Gus Hanson in first position's raising it up. He's been a bit quiet recently. But he's found a genuine hand this time, ace queen of diamonds.
How much is it?
Paul's in there as well with the 10-9 of clubs. Tony G's in the pot as well with ace-3. I'm not sure what he wants to catch with that hand.
You're gonna beat me in a pot.
King 10 of hearts. Second pair and nut flush draw.
No.
And Eric's in there as well with the snowman. So we've got 4 people for the flop. Ooh, the ace for Gus Hanson and a set of 8s for Eric.
Yeah, 2 players here with the aces here. Tony G with ace-3. Gus Hanson with ace-queen.
6,000.
What's going to happen here now? Seidel with a set of 8s. He's already our big winner today.
Oh, sorry. No, I know.
And you look at the texture of that flop with a set of 8s here. Can you slow play this just a little bit?
We've got 6. 6 total.
Well, if there's any kind of flop that you can slow play a set of 8s, that's one of it. Paul Kemsley's called this one. I think he actually thought it was 600 rather than 6,000. But once he's announced call, he's going to have to put his chips in the middle.
Well, Tony G, he gets rid of his weak ace. Nice laydown by Tony G. And now the action's to Seidel with a set of 8s.
He said raise. A raise of 14,000 more to Gus.
I want to die right now, that's all. So I want to die right now. Just lost 25,000.
And Gus Hanson makes a quick call.
Ace-2 of hearts. King 10 of hearts. You went bet.
And the pot is now $55,000. Gus Hanson is in terrible shape. He needs running diamonds. Or a queen and an ace. And here we go, a queen on the turn. And Gus Hanson's got top 2, and we're talking about action on this hand. This is going to be insane.
Would you have called? That's all. You would have, huh? I should have just flat called the flop. What's that? No way. For the re-raise on a limp pot? He definitely has 2 pairs set. The best I can have is 8 wins. Absolutely impossible for you to have more than 8. What's that? 1. Right. He said he wouldn't fold either.
Well, it's a bet from Eric.
20,000.
And that's probably the worst card in the world for Gus Hanson to see on the turn.
I would challenge anybody to lay this one down. It's a really tough spot to lay down a hand. Obviously, you can't beat a set of 8s, you can't beat a set of 4s, but it's tough to lay down top 2 pair. Pot is $75,000, 20,000 to call. Gus Hanson's very familiar with Eric Seidel, though. He knows Eric's not going to be flush around with nothing.
Howard said he wouldn't fold. He said he wouldn't fold either. He's got 75,000 more. 75 more.
I mean, at this point here, is there any way Eric Seidel would make this move with ace-king?
Well, he might make... I think if he calls the 20,000 here and Eric wants to make any more action on the river, he can definitely lay the hand down. Because there isn't really a hand he could beat there.
Right, that's Seidel will keep betting.
Exactly. But he might not give himself that opportunity to get away from it. He might just move in now. We've seen him do it before.
Gus Hanson, a very extremely intelligent person. You wonder if can he get away from top 2 pair here.
You can almost see his brain ticking. Well, he's decided to call.
He's going to call, and the pot is now over $95,000 to the river. Hanson's going to need an ace or a queen.
What a queen!
Oh, I can't believe it. That is unbelievable. I cannot believe it. A queen on the river. And I got to tell you, if you're Seidel, you probably think you're good here. No reason to put Hanson on ace queen specifically.
Huh?
All in from Seidel, and it's going to be a quick call from Gus.
And we have the biggest pot of the night here.
That was pretty sick.
Unbelievable.
Wow.
Running queens for Gus Hanson to play his get-out-of-jail free cards.
That is absolutely insane.
That was pretty sick.
That's per normal Gus poker. You seen this hand here?
On the flop, he had 1 pair. He was up against a set. He needed queen, 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 ace, 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 or 2 diamonds.
43,
what a pot.
This is Gus poker.
I tell you, if an ace falls on the river, I think Seidel gets away from it. But the queen, he can't get away from it.
Yeah, very, very hard to get away from that.
We play what we call the big game, or what is worldwide known as the big game, where we play 4,000 and 8,000, 2,000 and 4,000 blinds. Sometimes we throw in some no-limit hold'em and some pot limit Omaha with 1,000, 2,000 blinds. So it's a very big game where you can easily lose a couple of 100,000 or maybe even a lot more in a day or two.
Six to play. Pass.
It's been called in first position by Eric Seidel. And there he is, ace queen of diamonds. Gus with pocket fours. Phil's in there with a 7-3 of clubs, ever the creative player. PK's in there with ace jack. And by that splash of red in front of PK, we can see that he's actually raised it up. Eric's in the pot. He's not releasing his ace queen. It's almost like he's consoling Tony G.
Should be. This is just getting good now.
They make a sweet couple.
Good TV now. I'm gonna miss out on the group.
I don't know if I'd use the word sweet.
Now, if you're in Gus Hanson's spot now, with Paul Kemsley and Eric Seidel in there, do you take one off to see a flop with pocket fours?
Depends just how much it is.
And he's going to call. Phil, obviously, not going to call with the 7-3 of clubs. And we're going to see this 3 ways to the flop. Pot is already $20,000 pre-flop.
Yeah, it's ace queen for Eric, ace jack for Paul, and pocket fours for Gus Hanson. Well, the fours are good.
You wonder if Kemsley can fire again. Can he take it down? Representing,
Well, yeah,
say, ace
with
king.
the worst hand as it happens.
11, 11:30. 40 minutes left.
Wow. Game's so fucking
6,000.
6,000.
We're 6,000 into a 20,000 pot.
Pass.
It's very hard for either of these two boys to call it. Eric's gone.
Every hand I play in poker, online, live, tournament, no matter, I mean, I'm not how big a favorite I am, it's just mind-boggling.
Gus has been watching Paul play. It's only a better 6,000 into 20 plus. But it's still too much for him. And Paul takes that one down with the worst hand.
Well, you talk about the pre-flop aggression of Paul Kemsley. Really pays off there. He takes the betting lead. And when everybody else misses, he takes it away.
So the big guns are firing, with both Gus Hanson and Phil Ivey up over $90,000 in profit each. But with one more session still to play, there is plenty of action to come.
Well, what a night we've had here at 50 London. But we hope you'll join us again next week when one of these players is crowned the Full Tilt Poker $1 Million Cash Game Champion of 2006. Until then, it's bye for now.